So, pretty concerning article here on the Motoring Chronicle.com. I've not done a video on an article on the website in quite some time, but when I saw this, I thought, I've got to cover this because as someone who used to work with a lot of van drivers, not as a van driver, but I've driven a few vans in my time too, purposes and stuff, it's concerning. It really hits home when I hear stuff like this because I know personally from working with a lot of field engineers and contractors and stuff like that how difficult it is to be a van driver in the UK. It's really, really tough for a number of factors, and this being one of them. The working hours, the amount of time they're actually spending in their vans. Now, I did bring you a similar story a little bit ago going over how van drivers are spending far more time in the vans than they actually should do, how much they're contracted to do and stuff like that. And this kind of goes along with that, really, saying that UK van drivers are overworked and overwhelmed, and therefore as well a bit underpaid too, if you know the advertisement. But in all seriousness, let's have a look at this. So like I said, full article on the motoringchronicle.com if you guys want to check it out. So 1/4 of the UK's van drivers, 24%, have faced depression or mental health issues caused by work in the past year, according to a study by VW Commercial Vehicles. A poor work-life balance and working too many hours, 32% and 28% respectively, were cited as some of the top causes of worry and stress leading to mental health issues. More than half, 51% of the 1,000 UK van drivers surveyed reported feeling overwhelmed by work every month. Respondents attributed this to a sharp increase in the working hours, as the majority, 60% of van drivers in the UK, have seen their working hours increase, with as many as 40% working 10 hours or more per day. I can 100% agree that that's a thing. 100%. What's more, 1 in 10 respondents admitted to working 13 hours or more per day. Again, I can believe it. Almost double the working for such a long hours from the years before. To mark International Stress Awareness Week, VW Commercial Vehicles is urging van drivers to prioritise their mental health by raising awareness of the significant impact that working long hours can bring. Sorry guys, I can see myself in one of my other videos where playing that. I mean, it's good to see that my videos are getting out there, but it's weird seeing myself there and then down in the bottom as well, so I'll just pause myself there on that. In the UK, the legal limit for work is 48 work hours per week on average, unless workers sign an agreement to opt out of this limit, pointing to the fact that many van drivers are working significantly more hours than the legal weekly limit allows. More information on working hours can be found here. Eve Tyers, the head of marketing and communications at VW Commercial Vehicles, said the following: "These findings clearly show the alarming number of van drivers in the UK that are feeling overworked and overwhelmed, as well as bringing the impacts that this has on their mental health. We're therefore encouraging van drivers to prioritise their well-being, making sure that to take breaks, they need to remain in good physical and mental shape day to day." So yeah, just some sources at the bottom for the article there as well. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely believe this. Having worked with van drivers, having worked with people going up and down the country doing, jobs as it were. It's really, really tough. It really is. And I can totally believe these stats, 100%. And I can totally believe that it's getting worse as well. I mean, I've not been in that industry for a good few years now, but it was only going one way. It was only getting worse for them in terms of the working hours. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one because, like with a lot of work, to be fair, you sign up, you sign a contract, you begin that role, but in reality, that role that they advertise, that role that you signed on for when you first joined, it never quite stays the same. It often changes, it evolves, and which is a good thing in a sense, but in this case, when it comes to van drivers, it's not. People, employers will often take an inch so they can take a mile later on. It's just that kind of thing. And the guilt, the pressure of not completing a job just because you stopped after your hours were over, which is your right, by the way. There was nothing wrong with doing that, but the pressure, I mean, you can't be sacked for something like that, but you might be passed up for a promotion, you might be passed up for a job because you stopped, you quit for a bet. And it's wrong, and it shouldn't be like that. You should work and do your hours, and that should be it. But in reality, it's not quite that simple. It's one of the things where it's like employers legally can't discriminate against that kind of behaviour. There is nothing legally wrong with it, but off the books, unofficially, how do you prove that they've discriminated against you for that? It's just my thoughts, but I can totally believe these stats. And if you're a van driver, I want to hear from you. You know, have you seen your working hours increase recently? Do you feel that you're overworked and underpaid for the work that you do? I want to hear your thoughts. I really do, because, like I said, I used to work with a lot of van drivers, and they were good lads. They were really, really good, hard-working lads, but absolutely overworked, no doubt at times, 100%. There is no doubt about that, and it is very common across that industry. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, guys, and of course keep subscribed to themotoringchronicle.com for much more motoring news and opinions just like this.